has to be steady so that he doesn't curl when he gives to the bit. Hold your reins like really steady on either side, like you're attached to a side rein, and put your leg on to send him into it, and then you have to find the timing when he stretches down. I want his nose in the dirt in this stretchy work. Yep, put your leg there. Or you push him into that, that's better. And don't give up, like don't release until he actually has that reaction, that's better. So with Frida, she's really rigid, right? And so you have to do a lot of suppling in your fingers. Snip's not rigid. Snip is very supple and almost too wiggly. So you have to ride him much more still in your hand and still in your body and send him where he needs to go with your leg. So a little bend for flexibility and then really straight. And you hold the pressure until he actually responds to the give. Because if you keep moving it, then we're just teaching him to ignore. So hold those steady reins, push him into it. Good, and then let him stretch down. And then when he stops, you take the pressure again steady. Pluck to him. He's going plenty forward, but yeah. Okay. Okay. Again, wherever he feels stuck, not in his mouth or his neck, but in his body, feel free to you got to use your leg to either push him around or push him straight so that he can unlock and give down in his neck. That's it, good. So he looks nice and in front of the leg. Now I'm interested to see that you get that response from your rein. You're training that relationship where you can communicate with him if he needs to go lower, come up, give in a bend. Good, even lower than that. There you go. So he wants to take it all the way down. That's it. Get plucked to him with your voice. That's better. Good. Good. Hold the left bend and put your left leg on until his rib cage actually moves away. Yep, like post like you're going to the cupboard. That's it. And then a big push and a straighten from the outside into contact so he gives down. There you go. Super. That's exactly right. And then if he gives that up again, you do the same process both ways. So again, this is just warm up. They're not meant to feel like $1,000,000. You're teaching him how you want him to respond to your leg, how you want him to respond to the rein, and then softening when he gives you the right answer so that he wants to work with you. That's better. Good. There we go. Now that neck muscle, I can see it quivering all the way to the saddle pad. If he can get 5 inches lower, it would be all the way to behind the saddle. That's the hard part about warm-up, right? It's hard for them to get there right off the bat, so you have to work. Good, yep, push him off your left leg. Open your left rein and just hold it steady. So see how he twisted his neck? He's not moving his rib cage. Like you have pressure in the rein. There you go. Ah, there. Super.
Are you sure? You said super.
Yes. the response. Like, I mean, he's still like warming up.
Okay.
But it does. It looks really good.
Right.
Like when she kicked him there, and he finally actually gave in the rib cage instead of just tilted his nose.
Yeah, I didn't understand what you were saying super for. All right.
That's much better. Good. Good. Keep your leg underneath you. Change your posting diagonal. I want to see you physically move your heel under your butt. There you go. You got to build your muscle there. You got really long legs in the time where you weren't riding. And so in the dressage saddle, you got to just make sure that that heel stays under your butt and your top of your calf stays pressing on. Especially because Lane is really big on rider position. And I know you know how to go there. You're just kind of fighting against your new length of leg and our new saddle all at the same time. Good. Let's go ahead and pick up canter. You should go sitting, kind of melt into canter. Good. And just go with him. Let it be open. Yep. Following your hip. Let it be more forward. Keep your leg on him. Like, send him with your leg where you want to go. The nice big open canter, that's actually going to let him warm up, right? That's what, especially that's what Lane is going to be looking for, and that's kind of what our focus is on these next couple rides, or I guess just today, tomorrow. That he wants to see that this canter, like it's excellent, his outside hind leg is coming almost as forward as his inside, which is very hard to do, but what everyone looks for in the canter. If you want him to get rounder, it's got to be the same as it was in the trot, where you're not like seesawing left and right. Bend him with your calf on until he connects. You're fine. He's just losing his balance because at that time we were just moving the rein, and he's not actually, you're starting to lose the hind feet. So you have to put your, even if you feel like it's fast, you have to put your leg on to compress him. Hold the pressure, hold the pressure. Your right leg should be on. And just stay there, just stay there. You have to wait it out till he gives, just like you had to do. There you go.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right, none of them really respond to, not none of them. Snip doesn't really respond to moving the bit a whole lot unless he's in trouble. You have to make him connect to get that quality of canter a little better. Good, your right leg's got to stay behind you.
Did she just squeeze with the thigh there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see it rather than just hear it from your
and then
voice.
he came back.
Yeah.
And she fixed the speed, like he was starting to speed up a little bit, but he speeds up when you, like, it's
Yeah.
hard to say, and I'm like,
That was a
and
thing
I know
of.
she hasn't been doing much canter, but like, he
Yeah.
actually speeds up more when
Yeah.
you move the reins. He thinks he's about to get in trouble.
Yeah.
You have to hold what you want on there, and then soften. That's super Abby. And then get him straighter from your outside, but he's got to be able to give down and hold that. Like he's like, because he's not Frida, he actually starts to get, see, like you can see even a little bit there.
Yeah.
If you move the bit, he actually starts to focus about his head and neck and forgets about his hind feet, and then actually gets a worse quality.
Yeah.
Like you can see it, like the quality of canter starts to deplete.
Yeah.
Whereas there, where she like held the pressure, then he actually gives down and he holds his own balance.
That's an example of leg deranged.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she gets, like, she does a little bit of both of them. Like, it's a very easy, like, reaction when, especially if you feel like they're going forward. But, like, to me, that was better, where she was like, fine, do a small circle if you're going to run off with me.
Yeah.
And hold the pressure. See how our elbows are just in, and, like, we're still kind of on a long rein. So they're backwards, but not in this like a negative sense.
Yeah.
And she's making him compress his body again to get in a better balance instead of moving her hands, which is better. It just takes practice.
Yeah.
Especially going from Frida, who actually needs supple fingers and a lot of movement because she latches on to anything she can.
Yeah.
Where Snip doesn't do that. He likes to be compressed.
And the
Good job, you're good. You're handling all that well. Okay, let's go to the left. We're gonna get him back to stretching all the way down in the trot before we canter left. I was just telling your dad, I love what you did there. And I love that you were working on yourself there where he actually gets more frantic if you move the rein like Frida, so it's good practice. I loved your reaction so much where you decided to make his job harder when he started to lose his balance and ride the smaller circle instead of move the rein because he's not rigid. And so when you move the rein, he starts to think about his head and neck and he loses his balance. He needs you to remind him how to compress his body. Like even though he's compact, he needs help with that. Good, that's super. And keep your left leg on. I want to see your heel and spur when you're taking that left rein back. Your left calf should be, yeah, there. That's it. Whereas before that was a little bit just in the rein. Was that him that just squealed? Oh, no, it wasn't. Sorry.
it moves in the back. Wow.
You're good. Slow your post. Good with your left leg. Yeah, and hold it. So see how when you take it and you let go, what does he do? Now he holds it. What did he do the first time? He went back. Yeah, right? So you gave more than he actually held. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when there, now you give a little instead of just drop it because you have to actually make sure he's going to maintain that. Keep your left calf on. Slow in your post if you need him. Just take a minute to come back. Not allowed to run away from the bend. Now, when he gives, stay there. Yes, good. Good. When he gives, you're going to give a little. Good. That's better. And then a little more. Like, see, if you hold it, then I'll let go of that pressure. Good. And a little straighter from the outside. Good. And all of this is really hard on a long rein, but you're beyond ready for it, right? Like obviously your connection's much longer, and we do that for them to be able to warm up. And I actually like it because it takes away like an over sense of control, which is like what used to be my problem. So I have to learn how to ride the horses and get them to feel how I want them to feel on the longer rein, and use my seat and half halt in my seat and be able to put my leg on a long connection without them running away, right? Which is really easy for them to want to run when you're on a long rein. So when you're ready, we're going to sit, getting straighter.